Okay. Captain Randy, you and your partner, Dawn, you know, you guys have relocated being expats, even though I think you're here about a decade, about 10 years?
Close to it now,
about
yeah.
10 years. Maybe describe a little bit to our viewers about opportunities. You know, it's a very popular subject for me when people are coming in and they're, this is great and I like the peace and the tranquility and the people are great. But what's it like for me to start a business here? How would I be able to do something? And maybe you can enlighten some of the viewers on that since you've done it twice.
I can, Barry. Really the key to starting a business and being fairly successful at it is, number one, is have some type of a plan. It doesn't really matter what it is, but have an idea of what you're going to do. I always say stick with what you know. I've been fishing for more than 4 decades, going, and soon it'll be 5 decades. Stick with what you know. Try to find a niche. Try to fill an area of service that's not being offered in your particular area. I'm the only sport fishing operation for 40 or 50 miles in either direction, east or west of here. So that's a nice thing right there. I don't have a lot of competition to worry about. And then come up with some type of a plan. Come in slow and don't make a lot of big waves with the locals. Just kind of come in low key, because you have to understand from their viewpoint, a lot of they view the majority of expats as people from foreign countries with a lot of money. Whether you have a lot of money or not is really immaterial. So you just want to come in kind of low key with a kind of a business plan, and then just slowly work your way up. Yeah, work your way up to the level that you want to be, where you want to be.
What about a lot of our viewers, and they've been trained over the past few decades where they have the ability to see in the box, but I'm always saying you have to look outside the box. How do you feel about an area, this region, in terms of opportunities? I see so many new businesses that we need, and the picking is ripe right now, but maybe you can get through to more of the viewers about that. You're going to see views on the 3rd step that you didn't from ground level, but you're not going to see the whole staircase without getting off the ground.
You're absolutely right, Barry. Thinking outside the box is important, and I think that there's a big need for businesses in the country that are connected with something that involves customer service. Those 2 words you'll never hear in the course of normal conversation around the country. You'll never hear the word customer and service mentioned in the same sentence. So any type of a business where you would offer some type of a service and then treat the customer like we're used to treating our customers or being treated in the United States would more than likely be successful. And to just digress for a second, it is a land of opportunity here. The government is very, very easy to get along with. A lot of people ask me all the time, since I have lived in Costa Rica, which is a popular destination, what's the government like here compared to a place like Costa Rica, which has a pretty good image?
Good question.
Well, believe it or not, and people think I'm kidding when I say this, the government here, there's just no comparison. It's much more efficient, it's faster, you get your residency quicker, driver's license, all your legal work goes easier, there's less corruption and problems as far as the wheels of government turning. It's all the difference in the world. So for those people thinking about moving to the Dominican Republic, starting a small business, this is a great choice.
And you feel then the time is ripe for this region, since we're pretty much unknown but yet starting to grow? People are starting to discover us. You feel it's the season is right for people to look for that?
Absolutely. I think that if someone was thinking about doing this 10 or 20 years ago, I don't believe that the need would have presented itself like it is now. Maybe another 10 or 20 years from now, it won't be right either, but I think the time is ripe right now, and all they have to do is go to your website, DRescapes.com, and they can see that the tremendous potential that does exist on the north coast of the Dominican Republic, the infrastructure, upgrades that we're going through right now, new projects all over the place. The time is now.
What about another important thing for our viewers is quality of life? It seems that anybody around Western nations in Europe right now, in order to run a business, it's 24/7, and the quality of life goes out the window just to maintain the business. It's almost like family and wife or business, but I can't have both. I know my wife and I, Leanne, every morning we have coffee on our veranda for about 2 hours every morning before I even start my day. I find, and I want to hear your view, but I find here you can run a business. You don't need to make 1/5 the money to live a better quality life than you do in a Western nation, but it hasn't affected my quality of life with my wife, and that to me is extremely important. What have you found?
Absolutely, 100%. I have to agree with you 100%, Barry. I'm pretty busy, so I only have coffee for an hour in the morning. But seriously, you're absolutely right. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can have it all here. You can take your business to the level that you want to, and due to the fact that you can live for a fraction of the amount of money that it takes to live in any other country. I'm not going to pick on the United States. I love our country just like we all do. But Eastern Europe, anywhere in the world, the more developed countries, it's going to cost you a lot more money to live there than it does here. Quality of life wise, the climate, you just can't ask for a better climate. You don't really need air conditioning. You don't really need heat. There's always a nice breeze. The food is readily available, all types of fresh fruits and vegetables, meat, anything that you want.
Tell me a little bit about the diet, because I know you're pretty health conscious that way, and so is Dawn. You both are. What would you say? How do you see the quality of food in this country that you're able to get off the farms and what have you, comparing to the scenarios available in some other nations?
I find it to be excellent, absolutely excellent, due mainly to the fact that the majority of the food that we consume is produced within, we measure distance by time here, not by actual mileage. It's kind of a little joke, but
no, it's true.
So how far is a certain place? Well, it's an hour. I don't even know how many miles it is to, like, we'll say the next town, Nagua, but it's about a half an hour. But everything's produced within an hour or two of where we're sitting right now. I'm eating more and more fruits and vegetables than ever in my life. I am at 65 years of age right now. I can tell you without fail, and my doctors would back this up with any type of medical test that you can imagine, that I'm healthier now than I was 10 years ago. And that's everybody's dream.
Yeah, I was just telling our film producer this morning over coffee, when I arrived, I was going on a 40, just a snug 40 waist, and even though I eat like a horse, I'm now a 36 waist.
I've gone from, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and it's just amazing because I'm eating volumes. It's natural. Your body can digest it.
I have a similar story. I've lost a very significant amount of weight. I've lost a lot of points off my cholesterol. I'm only taking a fraction of a little piece of a high blood pressure medicine that I'm just getting ready to get off of completely. And it's a very, very healthy lifestyle. And it's not very expensive to eat well here either. And that's a real plus. And we don't have very many processed foods either. All the chemicals, all the processing, if you were to dig deep down into the processing of food, packaged food, it would probably horrify most of us. So we get a lot of those foods in their pure form.
Yeah, there's another family here, speaking of that we're going to do an interview with. They came out, and even though they've only been here a couple of months, it's going to be an interesting video, but they happen to say, do you know your canned vegetables taste fresher than ours? And I said, what do you mean? And they said, they just take, and it's been years since I've had canned vegetables, from outside this country, and the funny thing was, they said, and then they looked on the label, and all it said was carrots, water, and salt.
Right.
There was nothing else in there, and it was amazing. Captain Randy, I want to thank you for your time. And
thank you.
One more time, please, put out your website, because I know a lot of people are going to want to check you out, so please.
Dominican Republic Sportfishing.com.
Randy, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks
you.
A lot. Okay.